Colin Kaepernick is back and bashing capitalism. The former quarterback, who made millions off his NFL career and endorsement deals, is slamming the system that made it possible. He said in a recent interview, quote, "Black liberation simply isn't possible under capitalism. White supremacy persists in part because of its relationship with capitalism. Heteropatriarchy, is that what you say that?
Yeah.
Ableism and so on." And I love the "and so on." Because then, like, people who believe in that, they can just fill in the blank.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really important what I'm saying. It's just that everybody in that list is oppressed, and you can't do anything about it. The country is condemned to this original sin, and you can't have capitalism. He just exchanged one sport for another. But this sport can only be enjoyed by someone with elevated wealth, fame, and status. Capitalism, but for better or worse, will raise all the boats, but communism and Marxism only raises the boats of the people who are in power. Everybody else is under the thumb of the government because the government is the actual economic engine. To be young, black, and educated in a capitalist society, nothing stands in your way. Nothing.
And a talented athlete.
Yeah. No, but I just mean in general.
Oh, okay.
In general. You couldn't be at a better time to be alive. But this woke oppression filter that he's selling compels you to adopt a view that only leads to failure. If you want to fail in America, take his advice and blame everything, every problem in your life on somebody else. You will not be successful.
Jesse, you know what else is not possible without capitalism? Reparations.
Oh.
There's going to be no money.
Good point.
No money left. Where are blacks thriving economically in the world? They're thriving here in a capitalist country. They're thriving in capitalist countries in Europe. They're not. Where are blacks thriving in Marxist countries? They're not. And if you look at the end of European colonialism, when the United States basically destroyed all of these empires and the African nations were allowed to be self-determinative, the ones that embraced Marxism, they got set back decades economically. Famine, hyperinflation, gross mismanagement and graft. The countries in Africa that embraced capitalism prospered more than they were before. And it's not race that's determinative in success in this country at all. It's mostly education, and Greg is right. Do you know that Indian Americans make twice as much as white Americans? Japanese Americans make more than white Americans. Sri Lankan Americans make more.
That's got to upset you.
I'm going to leave it at that. And so on.
And speaking of education today, Tulsi, we get these numbers back from the National Education Assessment Test, which basically says we are in dire straits.
Yeah.
Our students cannot read. We have, by double digits, regressing back to like the lowest score since they started doing the testing. And so we have that problem plus a problem of somebody like Colin Kaepernick, who I'm sure a lot of people, a section of the society looks up to and basically considers themselves victims. And so at what point do you have any hope that things will get better?
And that's the thing, right, is even those who look to him and say, hey, Colin Kaepernick means well, he wants to help lift people out of poverty. If we're not teaching history in our schools, we see the result in Colin Kaepernick advocating for Marxism over capitalism without actually looking at what happens in North Korea. What happened in the former Soviet Union? What happened in, Marxist, Maoist China, where people in all of these examples lived in abject poverty and totally and completely oppressed without any freedom whatsoever? So if this is what he's advocating for, he should really look at history and compare Marxist, Maoist China, where people couldn't even travel outside of their city or province, what to speak of travel overseas. They were completely oppressed, had no personal liberty, to now, once capitalism was introduced to China, people have more personal freedom, they have more economic freedom, and there is an increased level of just overall well-being. So Colin Kaepernick and those who are advocating for Marxism need to know what it is, what the consequences are in every example throughout history, and recognize that capitalism throughout history has, as you said, lifted people up and provided that freedom.
No question about that. Judge, he wrote the book with two Marxists, He had made $40 million, apparently, and he has a $5.4 million Vegas mansion. That does not happen under socialism.
It does not happen under socialism. And the truth is he made something like $43 million in salaries, plus he had endorsements, plus he had Netflix. You know, I guess that capitalism has treated him pretty well. And the truth is, it's kind of like Bernie Sanders writes a book, Trashing Capitalism, and he makes over $2 million from the book. But, you know, the whole concept of white supremacy as being, you know, the enemy of anything and everything, you know, it doesn't really answer the question that, you know, if we're a free country and people have a free will and people succeed based upon, you know, the stats that Jesse was saying having nothing to do with white supremacy, you know, you can't blame it all on that. And, you know, instead, maybe you ought to be looking at why is there so much black on black crime? Is that because of white supremacy? Why are kids in Chicago shooting each other? Is that because of white supremacy? I mean, money is one thing, but isn't it also a standard of living that people should be concerned about in terms of, you know, white supremacy stopping other races from going forward?
I think so, indeed. Good discussion. All right, the fastest is up next.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.